95.9. The Alpha Radio is on 95.9. REV-UP, St. Lucia. St. Lucia. REV-UP, St. Lucia.
Let's welcome Dr. Phil and wife Clarissa right after this.
Have you noticed behavioral changes in self and loved ones that trouble you? You're losing your mind, but it just wouldn't go away. Well, join Dr. Phil, clinical counselor, and his beloved Clarissa, counseling psychologist, on The Healing Process every Thursday, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on REV-UP St. Lucia 95.9 FM. That's The Healing Process, Thursdays, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on REV-UP St. Lucia 95.9 FM. Let the healing process begin.
This is the healing process coming your way today, folks. When it comes to dealing with the challenges, the changes, and crises of life, it is important to seek help early. Don't sit around sucking your thumb until that chassis is on the road. The earlier you seek help, the shorter and easier it will be, because there will be less of a mess to deal with. Contrary to popular notion, counseling is not just for crazy people. It's for anyone who can benefit from an outside objective expert perspective to help them enjoy their little lives to the fullest. I am Dr. Phil.
And I am Claire, extending warm greetings first to the person right across us here. Lady J, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Of course, when we came in, we saw Jeannie. Good morning, Jeannie, and Andre, and also Mr. Cosmos, and all the staff of REV-UP. To all our listeners and viewers, whether you're a regular follower of our program, or maybe you're tuning in for the very first time.
Claire, don't forget my girlfriend I got on you this morning.
She's probably listening too.
I'll leave it for you.
Aww.
It's your girlfriend.
Aww. Too cute.
From right here in St. Lucia, across the diaspora, or anywhere around the globe, we welcome you. Each of you is special to us, and we're grateful that you've chosen to spend the time with us.
Yes.
We are. So we are Dr. Phil and Claire, and it's time again for another episode of The Healing Process. Our mission remains the same. There's no change. That is to help you live life to the fullest by addressing those troubling issues within yourself or in others that can stand in the way of joy and fulfillment. Now, for the past two programs, we explored the traits of a narcissist. One trait that stands out strongly is envy, that restless desire for what others have. Today, we're going to take a deeper look at envy and its close cousin, jealousy. These two emotions often walk hand in hand, shaping how we see ourselves and how we relate to others, and also how we respond to success or loss. But while they're often confused, please note that envy and jealousy are not the same.
That's right.
Understanding the difference is key to managing them in healthy ways. So in this session, we'll ask, what exactly are envy and jealousy? Why do they arise? When do they show up in our lives? Are they even healthy? And how can we teach ourselves and even our children to deal with them wisely? Well, the psychologists remind us that these emotions are signals, not flaws. The challenge is learning how to listen to them without letting them control us. So I hope you got that. Emotions are signals, not flaws.
That's right.
So Phil, over to you to say hello to your girlfriend, to start the ball rolling.
And here we go, our topic. She's not envious, is she? So let me say good morning and hello to Mrs. Barrow. And when our folks at home, I had a mom too. She passed not too long ago. And it is good that they could have a program that they can relate to, they can listen to, Lady J, and to feel good about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And I do appreciate the elderly. I know how my mom worked hard for us to survive. I respect moms, and good morning to you. I hope that you have a good day, and all other elderlies listening to me. Now, if you want to join me in the way that Claire would not feel jealous, you just let your loved ones tell you when the program is on and listen. And let me know. You can call us at 730-9009 and tell us this is the name of my mom or my dad who's at home listening to your program, so that I could say hello to them on the unprecedented Jesus on Sunday mornings.
And there's also Mr. and Mrs. Clement from Corinth.
Okay.
And she said her husband listens, so good morning to you, and thank you for listening.
Beautiful. All right, so we will dive into envy versus jealousy, Claire, now? All right. Now, it's always good to know we are all on the same page when it comes to any topic.
True.
So let's start with this question. What is a good working definition for envy and jealousy? Now,
These are words we say often, right?
yes, that's what I was about to
That
say.
girl is jealous of me or envious of me.
And sometimes it is out of context. Now, listen carefully. Envy is wanting what another person has. Envy, wanting what another person has, their status, their possessions, their qualities, etc. Jealousy, on the other hand, is the fear of losing something we already have, something we value, often a relationship, to a rival. Now, I hope you keep that in mind, so the next time you're in an argument, she is jealous of my husband, she's jealous of my friend, you would want to use envious. And when you're afraid of losing what you already have, you might use this word, jealous. How do we feel? Envious and or jealous? Now let's take a look at the historical background of this. In antecedent times, humans needed to protect their food, partners, and community, that is, community ties, to survive. See again, survival. Envy helped us notice what others had that we didn't, like better tools or skills, so we could strive to get them. I remember walking through Bonte at one time. That's before I had my coconut trees. I think we just bought our land. And I saw a short coconut tree. The nuts were actually dragging on the ground. I stopped and I looked at it. I said, wow. Now, in my heart, I would wish that it would remain like that. Because with my coconut trees, sometimes I admire them so much, I forget and they get hard. Something I have to remind myself of. But I was sharing the beauty of this yellow bunch of coconuts on this short tree with a close friend. And suddenly I was being lectured that I must be careful not to envy people's things, next thing, blah, blah. But what I was trying to convey, I really appreciated seeing this wonderful set of nuts hanging so close to the ground. And I decided, wow, I'll look for a plant like this. And so we
So
need
it
to
was
be...
motivation.
Yes, it was motivation. And now I have 3 of my own. So we need to understand that envy helped us notice what others had that we didn't, like better tools or skills, so we could strive to get them too, not at the expense of the well-being of the individual. We do not want to kill the individual for it. We do not want to take it from the individual, just like I didn't want to uproot the person's coconut tree. I don't want to steal it. I just admire it just where it was. Like a photograph. If it could remain there forever, I would have appreciated that. So, let's go now to jealousy.
And we're
Jealousy.
speaking about times past, how persons viewed it.
Yes.
Yes.
Jealousy helped us guard what we already had, like a partner or resource, from being taken away. These emotions started as survival tools. Keep in mind that the good book, it says that God is jealous of his people. Now, he's not jealous, being afraid that somebody take them away from him.
Afraid that Satan will take them.
He's not afraid of Satan. His zeal to protect that which he loves. And some men would transfer that to their vehicles. They wouldn't want anybody to rest on their vehicles. They wouldn't want to even give their mom a lift, unfortunately, when they wash their vehicle. This belongs to human beings, not an object. But when you finish washing your car, you don't want anyone to sit on it, to touch it. Your zeal to protect your property. The same way, we can be jealous of our spouses in a healthy way, our zeal to protect. Now, let's look at the social comparison. And Claire, I will take a little rest here.
Already?
Oh, yes.
Well, we naturally compare ourselves to others, especially women, right?
You saying that soft? Yes, that's what they do. The females, if another female enter the room right now, she would assess the environment and look at the two ladies and make a comparison. If a gentleman walks in here, we will start to compete for attention if there are ladies around. So the ladies compare and men compete.
Well, we do that naturally, and it's how we measure progress. So envy shows up when we see someone doing something better and we feel like we're missing out. For example, she got promoted, I didn't, I feel left behind.
And then it would activate negative emotions.
Yes. So if you're envious and it leads you to comparing yourself to somebody else, it's not the way to go. Then we have attachment. Jealousy is tied to relationships, as we were saying.
Yes.
It's the fear of losing someone's love, their attention, or their loyalty. And unfortunately, some persons, the way they behave, instead of speaking out, the response, the behavior.
Yes, as long as abuse
Yes.
gets involved, it's dangerous. It is unhealthy.
So a little jealousy can show we care, right? But too much can be dangerous,
Yes.
can damage trust.
For example, if, again, I'm going back to guys and their vehicle, you don't want anybody just banging on your vehicle, sitting on it. You go out with your lady. Would you want everybody just pulling her hair, pulling her there? If you don't care, you won't even bother about that. It says something about you. But naturally, you would want to show concern. You wouldn't want another guy just pulling your lady all over the place, just come grab her, you there in your presence. That would not be in order. You would not feel good about that.
But for example, you may be thinking, my friend is spending more time with someone else. What if I lose them? That's a thought that's going through your mind.
Right.
I might lose that person because they're spending so much time with the other person. So that leads to jealousy because of the attachment. And then a little jealousy can show we care. That's what we're saying. But too much, I hope you get the message, too much can damage trust. So envy is wanting what others have. Let's stress that again. Jealousy is fearing you lose what you already have.
Okay.
So I hope we got the meaning. Envy is wanting what others have. Jealousy is fearing you lose what you already have. You cannot be envious of what you already have because you have it. But if you're envious, it's because you don't have it and someone else has it. So both started as survival instincts. But when we look at life today, they show up in everyday life through comparison and relationship. Now, when does it happen? Envy happens when we see our peers succeed, or they own items that we desire for ourselves, or probably have traits we admire. Envy comes in there. Jealousy happens when a valued relationship feels threatened by another person. So Phil, here's an interesting question for you. Can envy or jealousy be healthy or unhealthy?
Well, we already touched a little of that, but we need to share what the social scientists in general has contributed to this thought. And they are saying that healthy envy can motivate self-improvement. I admire that skill.
That sounds like an oxymoron. Healthy
Yes.
envy.
I admire that their skill. I'll work harder. Not
Well, just like you admired the tree to motivate you to buy one,
right.
so that you can plant it and hopefully it will grow the same way.
Without hoping that the owner would lose theirs or would steal it. There's a big difference. So healthy envy can motivate self-improvement. Again, I go back to this coconut tree. I have 3 of my own. Can envy or jealousy be healthy or unhealthy? Unhealthy envy leads to resentment or sabotage.
That's right.
That was not in my psyche when I saw this beautiful nut tree with the nuts actually hanging on the grass. Healthy jealousy signals care for relationships and prompts communication,
Not abuse.
not abuse. You are aware of my love for you. I notice that you're spending much more time with, well, it could be a female friend, male friend, and you have distanced yourself from me lately. I'm really feeling uncomfortable. So unhealthy jealousy now becomes controlling, obsessive, and destructive.
And you would see those traits being manifested in a narcissist.
Very much so.
Yes.
Now, here's some everyday practical examples. I'm sure that we're aware of them. In the workplace, you see a colleague get promoted and wish you had the position or recognition. At school, a classmate scores high on an exam, and you may feel upset because you want the achievement. That's unhealthy. On social media, a friend posts vacation photos and you feel envious because you wish you could travel like them. Appearance. Someone compliments another person or the person's looks or style, and you wish you had the same. You're a unique individual. You could probably, as a result, start working on yourself. You can buy a sweet hairdo, even toupees for men. If you envy the Indian man, you can get your toupee and look good. So, in friendship, your best friend starts hanging out more with other persons, and you worry about losing your bond. We must not encourage that. I have friends, and you cling on to me. I can't have another friend. That's very, very unhealthy. You would give me the stare. You'd keep away from me, and when I get at the bottom of it, it's because you saw me speaking to another friend. No, you cannot be my only friend. That would be selfish. Others would see probably traits in me. They like to be around me too. I like to be around others. You will not cease to be my best friend. So if envy causes you to stay away from me and seek to hurt that individual, it is unhealthy and that should not be encouraged.
And that happens often, especially at school. When we're younger, we have a friend, and if this friend is speaking to somebody else, we get jealous. And it sometimes it causes a lot of problems in the relationship. Even as young children, I remember my granddaughter. My daughter was sharing with me something that happened with our granddaughter. She had this friend, but she was friends with other persons, and this friend got upset because she was speaking to other girls, and so it's a good thing she communicates with her mom. So her mom was able to guide her as to how to deal with it.
Yes.
So it happens all the time.
The opposite also, not the opposite, another side of it is they can have some fracas with somebody and they expect you, because for their sake,
To sever the relationship.
to sever the relationship with that individual or get vexed with that individual. But that would not be in my camp.
Yes.
Again, if some of you elderly ladies are jealous or envious at myself and Mrs. Barrow and others, you just write me. I'll be happy to have you. All right? And to give you a shout out on Sunday mornings. Okay, so Claire, we come in the family.
Yes.
A sibling receives more attention from parents and you feel jealous of the affection. In the workplace, you fear a new employee might take over responsibilities or recognition that you currently enjoy. So here is the interesting question, Claire. Which gender is more prone to manifesting envy or jealousy? I'll leave that for you because I don't want people to bust my head.
You leave me for Mr. Sylvester.
Yes. Mr. Phil Sylvester loves you and he wouldn't do that, but he might bust my head. And
Well-
good morning to you, Mr. Sylvester, by the way,
Yeah.
as we saying that.
He's on.
Yeah.
Research shows that both men and women experience envy and jealousy.
Okay.
Okay, but the triggers often differ. What triggers it is what that differs. With men tend to be more sensitive to jealousy when it comes to sexual infidelity. Women are more likely to experience jealousy in response to emotional infidelity.
And here again, it reflects men are visual, female, they're attracted to the physical appearance of the opposite sex, and females are more auditory. They like to hear nice words, pleasant words. Pleasant words are like honeycomb, according to the Proverbs. Sweet to the soul.
Health to the bones.
Women are hardwired to respond to pleasant words. So we need to keep that in mind when we're embarking on a long-haul relationship.
Well, envy appears across genders in similar ways through cultural and social expectations, which often shape how it is expressed. So when we look at the different cultures, we'll see how we know that it would be expressed differently. But for us as parents, should we teach our children about envy and jealousy?
Of course, for sure, Claire, and as early as possible, because it's envy out of control is a green monster.
For example, if a child says, "I wish I had a toy like this other person, like him or her," here's how we can respond as parents. It's normal to feel that way. Let the child know. You normalize the feelings. You let the child know it's normal to feel that way. You see another child with a toy and you automatically want it. I wish I had that toy.
This is the reason for advertisements. Here is something better. I have this one, or I'm looking for one, and this one. For instance, if a friend of mine I'm looking for a pair of shoes, and a friend of mine has one, and he says to me, "This is a very strong shoe. It's a little on the expensive side, but I have it for 5 years now." For sure, because I want a strong shoe.
Yeah, it will motivate you to want to buy the same
Yes.
type
But
of shoe.
keep the difference in mind. You don't want to steal your friend's shoe. The dark green monster called envy would soon overshadow your bright countenance. You'd get green with envy, and you would want to steal, you would want to kill the individual or harm the individual for their property.
So we're speaking to parents, and if you have a child who says, I wish I had a toy like hers or him or his, you can respond by saying, it's normal to feel that way. And tell the child, sometimes we want what others have. How about we think about what you already have and enjoy?
The flip side is this angry response to that. I cannot afford to buy that for you, and probably give the child a slap. We need to be careful about that. Here,
And
you can deal with
choke,
it.
You choke the child's feelings,
Yes.
and that child will not express how he feels anymore because of your response.
Here is an opportunity for learning from parents. With pleasant words, you can get this message across to your child.
So you have an open-ended conversation with the child rather
Yes.
than closed door.
Share that again, Claire. This is very
Yes.
important. And
Yes, it's important for us as parents. We have a few, but one
Okay.
of them is to normalize the feelings by saying to the child, when the child says, I wish I had a toy like this other person, we could tell them it's normal to feel that way. Sometimes we want what others have. How about we think about what you have and enjoy already what you have? Let's see what you have and what do you enjoy playing with that you have, that you own.
yes,
Then you can encourage that child in gratitude and self-worth. For example, at dinner, you can ask your child to share one thing they're thankful for that day. And this helps them build appreciation for what they have. So they will remember what they have because they're going to give you thanks for one thing every day that they are thankful for and they have. And this can help reduce envy.
yes. Again, we are preparing our children for hard times.
Yes,
and here we
yes.
are confronted with a global phenomenon. We are all involved one way or the other, and we might not be able to get the things that we are accustomed of ordering.
That's true.
We might not be able to get the food that we are accustomed of having on the table. Remember when our granddaughter was home, and she has her likes and dislikes, and she would eat our mangoes, and I had her to eat our homegrown mangoes because I said to her, there may be a time in the USA you may fall prey to a tornado. Now, if you find yourself covered, God forbid, the house collapse, you mean to tell me I am going to lose my granddaughter first because my granddaughter does not eat something in particular? But if you prepare yourself now by indulging in some of the things that are not palatable, but they are nutritious, and that got it going, she saw wisdom in it.
Yes, and then number 3, we need to teach them empathy and help them put things in perspective. For example, if a child feels jealous of a sibling getting attention, and that happens frequently,
Oh, yes.
you can explain to them that, listen, your brother needed help with homework today. Tomorrow I'll spend time with you. How about that?
Oh, yes.
This would help them see the situation from another point of view. They would see it from a different perspective. Your brother needed help with homework today. That's why I'm spending time with him. But tomorrow, it's all yours. I'm all yours. I'll spend time with you. And of course, number 4, model the healthy responses. For example, celebrate others' success openly. You can say, as a parent, you can say to your child, I'm so happy your friend won the race. Your child lost. But you tell the child, look, I'm happy your friend won the race. Let's cheer for him or her.
That's easy at home, but in the work environment, you wanted that position.
You didn't get it.
You didn't get it, and a friend of yours got it. What would you do? the right thing is to congratulate the friend and to admit, I wanted it, but you got it. And I'm going to support you 100%. But that's not how we operate, do we? Naturally.
Yes. Now, if you're struggling with envy or jealousy, there are ways that you could deal with it as we come into a close soon, and we'll open the lines very soon. Number one, self-awareness. If you go into AA meetings, the first one is to admit that you are alcoholic or you are addicted. Well, self-awareness is a simple idea. Name the feeling without judging yourself.
We need to punch that a little harder because...
Tell yourself, I am envious.
Yes, just
Don't
like
hide it.
persons who drink too much alcohol, they consume too much. A little is already bad for us. And you would find them in a situation where they don't know up from down. But I just had a social drink.
I'm a social drinker.
Right. Instead of confronting the truth, what is existential, I drink too much. I'm an alcoholic. And as you brought to our attention, that's the first step in recovery. In every area, in every unhealthy area of our life.
You have to name it to tame it. Name the feeling without judging yourself. That's how you feel. I feel envious right now because my friend got promoted. So naming it helps reduce its power. You don't go telling everybody that, but to yourself. Be true to yourself. Don't hide. You know you're envious and you like want to brush it over and not.
You can say it, but it's how it's delivered.
I don't think you want to say to your friends or anybody, but you
My
can
friend
say to
got
yourself.
my friend got promoted. That's my good
People
friend.
look at you.
I wanted this job. When I heard that my friend got it, I was a little envious. But knowing what I know, I put that in perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. It all depends. Pleasant words.
Now we spoke about healthy envy, right? So you can reframe the emotion. Use envy as a motivation and jealousy as a chance to talk. What do we mean by that? Instead of resenting a colleague's success, think to yourself, what can I learn from them? For example, if you feel jealous, if you feel insecure in a relationship, you can say, I value you and I need reassurance. Then you can practice gratitude. Focus on what you already have. Sometimes we have so much, yet
Rewind the tape.
we look at the wine,
Yes.
the one thing that
Sorry
this
for
other-
disturbing you. Example, jealousy. Rewind that tape. Let's give that a little knock again.
If you feel insecure in a relationship, you can say, I value you and I need reassurance.
Yes, sweetheart, I value you and I need reassurance.
Okay.
That's how you must say it, huh? Okay, guys? All right. And ladies, be pitiful.
Be what?
Pitiful.
Okay.
Yes. But caution. Don't go about, I feel insecure when you're all over the place like a wild cock. You're doing your thing out there and then you are jealous of a little hello, a little note some friend send to that individual. Again, do not lie and say that's just a friend when you know there is more to it than that. So we need to know what we're about. If you're not a hypocrite, you really love that individual, you appreciate that individual is spending a little more time than you make that makes you feel comfortable. I feel a little insecure in the relationship. I value you and I need a little reassurance now and then. Then hold him or her around the neck and give him again or her a kiss that will reassure them that everything is okay. How about that, Sister J?
Oh, it sounds
Sister
good.
J.
Sounds good. Sounds
All
good.
right.
You're already making me think.
There we go. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So we're moving along. Practice gratitude. Just to focus on what you already have.
Yes.
So you can keep a small notebook and write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. It will help you deal with the envy if you're having issues. And we have some healthy outlets. You can channel the energy into something constructive. For example, journaling about your feelings, writing them down, practicing mindfulness. And what do we mean by mindfulness? We have said it over and over again. It just means living in the present. Exercising or working on a personal project. And there's open communication, as you mentioned a while ago. Number 5, talk about the
Yes.
insecurities instead of hiding them. Speak about it. For example, I feel jealous when you spend more time with your friend. Can we talk about it?
Mm.
Isn't that okay?
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
I feel jealous when you spend more time with your friend. And sometimes husbands would say that for the children as well, Lady J.
Mm-hmm.
I feel jealous when you spend more time with the child than with me.
Oh, yes, Claire, you're saying some men, your husband, right? I remember when you had our first child, Phil. That was a newborn babe to you. Before it was just me getting all the thoughts, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have to see a little baby sucking away and I'm there.
Pastor Phil, you are naughty, naughty, naughty.
And then I went to her and I said, Claire, you're forgetting me. And she passed her hand in my hand. She said, that's true.
Aw,
Yeah.
but that's still nice. Yes, of course.
But that's the reality.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And sometimes we don't even we didn't realize
Yeah.
that because we
No.
know the baby needs us.
But of course,
You know?
Baby's
Mhm.
helpless.
Yeah.
Doing
our
it.
Yeah.
first child,
Yeah.
we were so ecstatic about having him. But then I now have to spend nights there watching this guy in the breast.
Yeah. Oh
And,
my goodness.
So I had to appeal to the higher court. All right, folks.
That's too
We
too
are-
funny.
Yes, we're upfront with you. That's the reality of life.
Yeah.
Keep it in your bosom, hide it, don't speak. And you don't have to be abusive. That's many years ago. I wasn't. I went and I spoke what was in my heart. Please don't forget me. Yeah.
So as we conclude today's program, we'll be opening the line soon. Folks, remember, envy and jealousy are not flaws to be ashamed of. They are
Yes.
signals that point us towards what we desire and what we fear losing. The question is not whether we feel them, but how we respond. Left unchecked, envy corrodes gratitude and jealousy erodes trust. But when faced with honesty, they become teachers. They can teach us, guiding us towards growing inwardly, towards resilience and deeper connection with our family and friends. We cannot stop envy or jealousy from knocking at the door of our hearts.
No.
If you want to try and stop it, try. But we can't. But we can choose whether to let them in as destructive guests or welcome them as messengers of change. Now you choose which one you want. If we teach ourselves and our children to turn envy into inspiration and jealousy into dialogue, then these emotions cease to be chains around our necks. And instead, these emotions can become keys to our self-awareness and to building stronger relationships.
One thing I would like to emphasize, Claire, is envy. Just regard it as that green monster that could get dark
Yes.
and
If you
overshadow
if you
this-
allow it.
Yes, and overshadow the sunshine in your life. On the other hand, it could motivate you, like in my case. When it comes to envy, that would say that individual has it, I want it, I'm going to get it at all cost, then you're on dangerous ground.
Right.
You would need to rethink that.
And sometimes even at the point of murdering somebody for what they have.
Yes. All right,
So
folks.
it's time for
Now
us to
we
open the
take to the
lines.
lines.
All right, so that number is 2870971. That's the WhatsApp platform. You can call or you can send a message, and we do have a message from the WhatsApp
Yes.
from Nikita Gina Javier. She says, "Good morning, Dr. Phil, and to your beautiful wife."
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
It's afternoon, yes.
Good afternoon.
And on our Facebook, we have Alita Flavio. She says, "I'm late." As Sunshine Charles is also there. And let's take in a call from Sylvester. Yes, let's take in this call. Good afternoon, Sylvester. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Dr. Phil. Good afternoon, Claire. Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Lady J.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Thanks for accepting my call, my dear. I appreciate it.
We are very appreciative of you calling.
Yes.
I guess you listened to the program on Sunday.
Yes, I did.
Did you get some others to listen with you?
No, not really. Not really, I did.
We have to start
Okay.
working, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so that I could say hello to them too. All right?
Oh, okay.
If you know anybody who listens, that I can say hello to them. Talk to us.
Okay. Yeah. What stood out for me? Thanks for accepting my call. Yeah. What really stood out for me on Sunday, Dr. Phil, is Jesus is who he really say he is. It seemed at the end, the question I will have to answer is the relationship between he and I.
Okay.
Yeah, that's funny because he said he went and he's coming back.
All right. Okay, so
Yeah.
what stood out for you this morning?
What stood out for me this morning? Oh, Claire always says things that I don't know if she's seen me when she's talking, but always putting into me.
All right, that's good
It's
as
about-
long as we're speaking to somebody's heart. It's good. Yeah.
The healthy jealousy. I believe personally, I have a healthy jealousy towards my daughter and my partner, and I'm not wrong. I don't believe I'm wrong in expressing it both in action and in words. I don't want to be wrong. I don't believe I'm wrong in that. The reason why I say that, Claire, if daughter is visiting on a Sunday and she bring an apple that costs $4 for mommy, at least bring a mango that costs $1 for me. So what is wrong is me in expressing my healthy jealousy towards that, both in words and in action.
So
Thank you.
so what would be the actions?
My action is like I can say, my action is that I will get a little cooler. I will, if I know you there and you only bring the apple for mommy and you don't bring anything for me, I might not even go and see you up because the way I live downstairs and mommy live upstairs.
No, that's not healthy jealousy.
You bring apple for mommy
Yes, you express
and I know
that.
you bring the apple.
He
You
said
expressed-
he both. That's why he said express and action. So that's why I was asking what the
Yeah.
actions.
Yes,
My action is if I know you up there, you bring the apple for mommy and you don't bring a mango for me, which
I got you.
is
I got
cheaper.
you.
I will not.
But you
I
say
might
you're
not go and say hello to
withdrawing.
you.
You're withdrawing, but healthy jealousy
Right.
does not withdraw. And keep that. We love you. It expresses that. Look, I'm uncomfortably bringing an apple for mom, and you forget daddy.
Yeah, you do bring a mango this cheaper for daddy.
If my son comes home and he gets all the hugs,
I'll
honey,
listen
what's
on the
that?
radio.
Honey, what's that?
Okay. Fine.
I'll make a joke out of it, but I want my hug. And I'll get it. So thanks for calling, Mr. Sylvester. But withdrawal is not part of healthy jealousy.
Okay, we have a call. That's an overseas. Well, not a call. It's a message, actually. Let's check that message. Very long. She says, "Good day to Dr. Phil and Clarissa. Great program as always. Today's discussion really resonated with me and brought me back to something my mother always taught us from childhood. She would remind us to be mindful of people who operate with jealousy and envy and to stay clear of that kind of energy. As I've grown, I've come to understand the depth of that advice. Even now, as an adult, I carry it with me. When I find myself in those situations, I don't engage or get pulled in. I simply remove myself. At the same time, I try not to hold anything in my heart against the person. I understand that sometimes what we see others is coming from something deeper within them. And what we see in others is coming from something deeper than within them. And every time I step away, it has always brought me peace. And I am truly thankful that my mother instilled that in me. All right, let's see if we can get a name here. No, it just says nightcap.
Is this a call on the phone?
No, it's a message on the platform.
Over here, on this phone. I noticed it was...
Yeah, I was reading, so I couldn't take it, because, so it's the same,
I think they call in again.
Yeah. Anthony, go ahead, please.
I was reading, so I couldn't.
Hello? Yes. You need to turn down your radio, please. Turn down the radio.
Good morning.
Yes, turn down the radio.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
Good
go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Clarissa. Good afternoon, Lady G.
How are you doing?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that's a giveaway, Clarissa.
Take note.
She
take
knows
note,
the
Lady
voice.
J.
Person.
Take note, Lady J.
I passed the
Ladies
today.
first, and then see
Yes.
a gentleman calling.
Yes.
There we go. That's natural.
Oh boy, Pastor Phil, you're not a farmer, but you're milking the situation. You're by the way he speaks and address people. You're so right about that. I have a lot of time for ladies.
There we go. That's normal.
Yeah, of
Normal.
course, of course. I won't entertain you about talking bad about.
You
the
understand
ladies,
what I'm saying?
because I can. Yes, St. Lucia, very healthy conversation as always.
Beautiful.
And Clarissa, you said so many beautiful things that some people rather message than call. As Pastor Phil will say, sometimes people identify your voice, so he doesn't want to, these things happening, especially if you're at work. So he's very sensitive.
Right.
So this is why sometimes it's always good to have a program, almost like this when it comes to the evening when people are home,
Yes.
because they take it in. Because sometimes they want to call, but they're at the workplace, they can't do it.
Right.
Okay.
Because even when they win prizes, sometimes they don't want to say their name because the boss will know that they won the phone. So you get me.
Yes,
So,
Yes.
Pastor Phil, let me dive into it. Let me start with you. And when Andre and REV-UP had this gift thing where they had a program where Valentine's Day and everything, when you won, when Andre and we met, we were going down the coast, he was going and play, as always. And then I told him, I'd prefer me winning than Pastor Phil. And he said, oh, you know him. So why is that? So I said, okay, a good thing you ask. Because if the Christianity part of Pastor Phil, don't get me wrong, it's good to be Christian-like, is that he may not indulge in everything that's on the package, just the pool party and okay, Clarissa, you know why you laugh?
I got you.
Young man. Young man, I want to meet you. Let me give you a good swanky.
Forgive me for laughing.
I was at
needed
Jade
that.
Mountain with my wife. This place is open, and somebody says, "But you're not concerned that somebody stay in the trees across there and see you?" I said, "They will now understand how a pastor does it." So that's my wife.
Oh, wow.
There we go. That's my
a
wife.
giveaway.
Yeah, that's my
So
wife.
that's why Victoria's Secret is no longer a secret, because everybody wearing it.
So that's my wife, and of course, you're correct in certain areas. There's certain things I would not indulge myself in, but I will definitely enjoy myself. But you seem to have a nice sense of humor, and I like you bringing that up. All right.
Thank you. So what it was like when I said that, you say, "Oh, I see. Oh, but you know what, Anthony? You know what? You could be right about that. Yeah." And what happened is, as much as I said, I would prefer to win it, but yet still, I didn't win, but I grabbed on another opportunity to win a dinner pass. At
Oh,
the
yes.
Bay Gardens.
At the Bay Gardens.
And when
Okay.
Okay.
And I also congratulated you,
All right.
Yes.
Pastor
I
Phil,
did.
on winning. So Clarissa, you said something there. Yes, yes, it's good to feel that way because you normally you're a child, yes, but you explain to the child the situation and then they get
Yes.
over these things. Because to me, not just having a child as being a parent,
Yes.
but to make the sacrifices so that you could adopt certain things that your parents did that was so good to you, so you pass it on.
That's
So
right.
it's
Right.
almost like a generation thing, the same way they are generation curse, and then you break the curse and break the stigma. So there's so many things we as men, could actually link up with other men. If you smoke, if you drink, then you
Let-
bring
let me
it up.
tell
It's
you.
like when a man,
Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
Did you
Yes,
listen to the program on Sunday? No?
I'll be honest with you, on Sundays, I don't listen to radio.
Okay.
Apart from that, religiously, from Monday to Saturday.
Okay,
REV-UP
so let me give you
solution.
the opportunity to try to win a prize from me. So that means your name will be going in the box once. If you had listened to the program on Sunday, it would go in the box twice.
Right.
The probability of you now winning is doubled.
Well, it's good to adjust and it's good to readjust. So I always think outside of the box, but I have so much to do on a Sunday, which the Monday and the Saturday have already taken so much because as I tell you, I could repeat everything said on this radio station.
Okay. But give somebody else a chance,
Okay.
please.
Yeah. Try me.
Yes.
Thank you,
But
Anthony.
you're going into the box, Anthony. Call us again.
Yes,
Of course.
definitely.
Thank you
Beautiful.
so much.
Enjoy the
All
rest of the day.
All right. Thank
you.
you.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
calling. Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay. So we've got some messages as well, and someone was trying to call on the studio line at the same time. But okay, I can't read. We have another call. Let's take that call in. Good afternoon. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
How are you doing?
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the information. I do appreciate it very much.
Mm-hmm.
What stood out for me today is jealousy is not a crime. But, well, we learned it was a crime, but it's not a crime. Because what you said is so true. I have a car, and I saw that how do you call it, hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm going to change my car. I want a hybrid. I'm tired of the car I have. I want a hybrid. But then when I thought a friend of mine, she told me that's giving me so much trouble, girl. I said, really? I said, okay, I'll stick with the one I have. So I did stick with the one I have. But sometimes it's good not only for children but for yourself to talk to yourself to say yes. Don't envy what people have. Don't be jealous of what others have. Take care of what you have.
Yes.
It's a blessing, and it became a blessing. I've never had problems with my car for 7 years.
There we
So
go.
I'm thankful for that information. Yes.
Beautiful. Right. Do you listen to my
What's that
program
for me?
on Sundays?
Yes, I did, but I didn't hear my name called. But
No,
I'm
but
jealous.
I'll take your name down now since I know for sure.
I'm just joking.
So give us your name,
Bob's.
Barbara.
Barbara.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
the title.
Yeah. Augustine.
Okay.
Good. And
Yes.
what area
I
do you
with
live?
My 2 daughters and my granddaughter.
Oh, you have a
My
granddaughter.
grandson.
Mm-hmm.
My grandson, sorry.
Oh, your
We did listen.
grandson.
My 2 daughters and my grandson, we did listen, yes.
Yes.
I heard everything. What's hard for me is that you spoke about God spoke through the prophets. But then his son came. And when his son came, what really hit me and struck me in my face, he came and he didn't have a home.
Oh,
And he died and he didn't have a tomb. That one really stuck with me throughout the remaining of the day. And even today, I can just say it in my mind. I was born into a home. I had a home, I had a family. I'm happy for that. And before I die, I have a tomb. So if I die right now, I know I'm going to rest my last days. But Christ was not so,
okay. But
I'm so
the
thankful
point
for the
point
things
is
that we have.
that when we understand this, it has to impact our life and our relationship with other human beings in our country. All right? When we
Yes,
understand
uh-huh.
these things, what he did for us, it must reflect in our relationships. Thanks for calling.
So what part of the,
Yeah, thank you very much for the
US are you
information.
calling from?
You calling from
No,
the
this
US?
is St. Lucia.
Oh, St.
St.
Lucia. What part of
Yeah.
St. Lucia?
Okay.
There is so.
There is so.
Bye.
Okay, it's
Okay,
good to
thank
have
you.
calling from Deriso, another part of the island. Yes, folks, continue to call us. And if you want me to give you a shout out, if you have a birthday celebrating on Sunday morning, 8:30.
Okay, this person says, morning to Dr. Phil and Clarissa. Great topic today. I raised my only son to never be jealous or envious of things because you don't know how the person acquired the item.
We have Colleen.
And Colleen is trying to get in. Colleen, good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Colleen.
How
Talk
are
to
you
me,
guys
sweetheart.
doing
Talk to
today?
me.
Pastor Phil, I noticed you don't have white on today.
See that?
Don't have what?
Oh,
White. Oh,
that's nice. She's taking stock. Beautiful. All right. So you like the white?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I notice you always have white.
He loves white.
I noticed that.
All right. So that gives you another dimension to look out for because I know now that you're watching. So,
have to
and I
make
know
sure
you
you
like the
dress
white. So I must change it now and then.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right. Curly, talk to us.
What stood out for me on Sunday is when words and reality do not match, we are headed for confusion.
That's right.
Yes. That was by Pope Francis.
By the Pope, yes.
Yes, very strong words. Very powerful words, I should say. And I have taken note of that and remind people of that because it is existential. It's a fact. Thank you. Now, what's the word for you today?
Okay, for today, a little jealousy can show we care, but too much is dangerous.
Beautiful. So you should be jealous of your son to protect him. That's your right as a
Yes.
mom. But to hurt him, if he looks at another mom and he
Be
says, "I like that
controlling.
lady," to control him, it's not healthy. All right. And when he grows up now and his attention starts to focus on the opposite sex, he starts to speak to you about another lady, that you have to understand this has to come if he's growing up normal.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
beautiful.
you.
thank you for calling.
Have a nice day. Okay, well,
Same to you.
Thank you.
You know, we are not privileged to have this type of information when we were growing up or
Yes.
when we.
Lady J, so
Okay.
that's three persons that's supposed to go into the box twice. We have Curling, Mr.
Sylvester,
Sylvester, and Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's see if we have someone else sent a message. Let's see. Oh, I read Nikki's already. Now let's see online. We have to get the online.
Yes.
We lost that one, so we have to get it again. All right, don't forget, someone just said they were trying to get us on the studio line. Yeah, but if we're on one line, we can't answer on the other line because there's only one time you can speak. I would have to have her on hold. Yes. All right, this person says, right, Nikita says, healthy jealousy does not withdraw love. No, healthy jealousy does not withdraw.
Right.
She loves this quote, she says.
Yes.
And great reflection moving forward.
That was in
Yeah.
response to the gentleman's,
So Sylvester.
Mr. Sylvester's contribution.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, the time is, we have, I think, time for just one or two more calls quickly.
Yes, remember, envy and jealousy are not flaws to be ashamed of, because we all experience it if we're not careful.
Okay, this person says, this is from St. Lucia. Good afternoon, wonderful program. What stood out for me, I can't prevent envy or jealousy to come into my heart.
Yes.
But-
Neither can you prevent people from envying you or being jealous of you.
But you can choose whether to let it be, in your heart as destructive or welcome it as messengers of change.
Right.
Yes,
There we go.
it's something you choose to do. And we need to teach our children. It's all in the training up the child in the way he should go. That's a form of training our children, teaching them to deal with envy, because at some point they come home and they say, I wish I had a pair of shoes like this one. I wish I had that dress. I wish I had
Well,
that.
I don't know that when I was growing up.
You say, I wish I got grades like this person. Then, friend, you've got to do the work.
That's right. Put in the work.
Yeah, you speak to them. Why do you think Johnny got an A? Because he studied. Did you study?
No, I was busy watching TV and playing games.
Yes, you don't dismiss them, but you entertain them. You communicate with them so that they understand why they failed.
Yes.
'Cause some of them fail and they start to cry. But why are you crying when you didn't put in the work? You
So,
need to
folks, I
speak
think
pleasantly.
that's it. That's it for today. As we come to the end of the healing process,
Yes.
we really appreciate the calls. The sponsors would like to know that the program is doing what it was engineered to do, and that's to touch the hearts, lonely hearts. If you're struggling, you can't afford to visit a counselor, and you can get some tips from us. There's certain things we cannot touch in the open because counseling embraces it's something that we could get ourselves in trouble if we overlook people's rights to confidentiality. And you might be speaking about somebody, they might not agree with the way you're exposing their issue with you, so you need to be very mindful. But if it's a personal issue and you want to ask a question, instead of paying your money and going to visit a counselor, although it's the best thing to do to sit in a counselor's environment, or counseling environment that is. But we are happy to be here with you, to motivate you. And the members of Beacon of Hope, they gave you an incentive by if you tell us what stood out for you, you get 200 smackaroos at the end of the month. And the first
One
5
person.
callers,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes. Well, Kina said, great show. She said she did send a message.
Oh.
We didn't get it on time.
Right.
Well, thank you, Kina. For
On which
this.
one?
She was, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But she sent the message.
The
All
last
right.
message we got is the one I just read. Yeah.
We're happy that you're listening to us. Kisses, kisses, kisses from all of us to you. Good stuff.
She said she's busy in and out of work. So she was listening. She was in and out.
Okay,
listening.
all
Yes.
right. But great that you give us a little shout. Yes. Okay, Lady J, I think that's it for today. It's time for Claire and I to say goodbye. Looking forward to meeting with you, same time, same place, REV-UP 95.9. All right, so that's it for today.
God willing.
Goodbye for now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, Dr. Phil and Clarissa. And we look forward to seeing you next Thursday right here on REV-UP St. Lucia.
Beautiful.
All right.
Yes.
Stand by.
Big it up, rev up radio station, the biggest station. Andre, Lady J, then the DJ. Why you there? Why you there? Why you there?
Have you noticed behavioral changes in self and loved ones that trouble you? You're losing your mind, but it just wouldn't go away. Well, join